Hey guys, it's Lindsay. Welcome back to my channel and to another plan with me. This is for the week of April 7th through the 13th, and I'm using the Mod Blossom kit from Scribble Co. I did also throw in I think it's the Groovy foil bundle. I'm not 100% sure, but I want to say it's the Groovy foil bundle. That also is from Scribble Co. I thought that the purple hollow was like a perfect match for this kit, and then also because it has like flowers as the header overlays, but then also the underlays were like 70 themed kind of, and this kit is kind of 70 themes as well, so I figured that was kind of like the best thing that I could do. Also, my voice is kind of dying, so don't mind that. I also did switch up the washi with the bottom washi. I decided to do the like more crazy pattern on the solid one because I wanted the pattern of the washi to kind of peek through with the smiley faces, so that's why it's kind of switched. Excuse me, I'm dying all of a sudden. But let's see what happened for this week. Nothing crazy happened this week. This was week 2 of me recovering from my breakup, so much less emotions happened this week, which was really nice. I did kind of just do a lot of lazy days. I watched Grey's Anatomy. Actually, I only watched that one day. I did start kind of prepping for Stagecoach because that was at the end of this month, and I did a little bit of shopping and stuff like that for Stagecoach. Hold on, let me see if I can try to fix my voice. Give me a second. Okay, I think it's a little bit better. I don't know what is happening with my voice. It's dying a little bit, but that is a-okay. But yeah, so nothing too crazy. I also, for the first time in a very long time, went to work without any makeup on, which I didn't do very often before. I do it a lot more often now. I have been very insecure of my freckles, which I know is crazy because like people love freckles now, and I have been incredibly insecure of them for a long time because I used to get made fun of for them, and because of that I would always wear foundation and stuff to cover the freckles up on my face. But the Thursday of this week I decided to go to work with no makeup, and I kid you not, the amount of people that complimented my freckles, like everyone was so incredibly nice, and I was so blown away by like just like how nice everyone was, enough to where now, which this is partially because of the guy I'm dating, but also because of just everyone being really nice, I actually don't wear face makeup anymore. I will maybe wear it on like special occasions, but I usually just wear like blush and powder and like do the basics of like mascara and things. But yeah, that actually more so stemmed from the guy I'm currently dating, just because like he made me feel a little bit more like confident also without the makeup on. But that was really nice. That was a nice thing that happened this week because I think I needed the compliments to make myself kind of feel a little bit better, but then also to feel a little bit more confident in my own skin, because I, for the longest time, would not go anywhere, especially at work. I would never ever go without like foundation on, because I always would cover up the freckles, and I didn't like people staring at them because people would stare at them. I even had a coworker one day be like, "Wait, you have freckles on your eyelids?" And I'm like, yes I do, they are everywhere. So it was just really nice for that, and that's kind of about the most of what happened this week. Nothing crazy. I played The Sims, watched some Grey's Anatomy, watched some YouTube, did some grocery shopping, read. I started a new book on this week, and yeah, that's kind of the gist of this week. That's like the highlight of it, I guess you can say. We're almost into the day by day. We're getting there. I'm gonna move my planner, so sorry if you can hear that, just because I'm gonna move a little bit closer to the mic. So let's get into the day by day. So first thing for Monday was upload day, as it usually is. So I used a filming slate like I normally do from Mandy Dreams, who is no longer open, as you guys should know hopefully at this point. And then the upload script is from Font6 in my shop. If you were not aware, I do have a shop. It is called Magical Sticker Co. It's always linked down in the description, so anytime, I'm just going to start saying like font 1, font 2, whatever. If you start to hear that, then just know that it is from my shop, because it's a lot easier than me constantly having to say it's from my shop, because I use a lot of my own custom scripts. So yes, we uploaded, and then I did have discussion responses and written assignment or paper due on this day. So I used a group project sticker from Once More with Love for the discussion responses, and the paper due sticker is also from Once More with Love, and then both of the scripts are in font 6. Moving on to the second half of Monday, I did play The Sims because duh. So I used Once More with Love Munchkin to mark that, and the Play Sims is also in font 6. And then I did do some filming on this day, so I'm assuming a Plan With Me or something, I actually don't know. So I used another Munchkin and a film script in font 1, which is my own handwriting if anyone is curious. Font 1 is always my own handwriting. And then last but not least, on Monday I did have a YouTube binge, which I was doing that probably when I was filming. So I used a YouTube laptop sticker from Scribble Co, and the YouTube binge script is from the foil bundle. Moving on to Tuesday. Tuesday was payday, so the icon and script are both from the foil bundle. And then I did have a headache on this day, so I actually ended up calling out of work because I wasn't feeling good, like enough to where it was like borderline migraine. So I did use a Coffee Monsters Co. emoji for that, and the headache script is in font 1. And then I did just have a lazy day because I was not feeling good. So I used a Paper Milk Maro at a lazy day script from my shop in font 1, and I actually know retrospect of this, I don't know if I finally got the headache to go away, but I probably should not have been looking at a screen when I had a really bad headache. Maybe the light didn't mess with me that day, but I played The Sims on this day, which I'm kind of surprised by actually because of the headache, but I don't know, I did it, I wrote it down. So I used another Munchkin, actually I used the same script and Munchkin for that one. And then I did call one of my coworkers, or actually I think he called me on this day, so I used a phone icon from Scribble Co. to mark that. And it's funny because he's actually one of my very, very gay coworkers, and he's the biggest chismosa and will always tell me everything about what happens. So it was just funny because he was probably telling me something with the drama of what was happening at work or something annoying. And then I did finish off the night by watching Twitch streams, so I used a Paper and Milk Maro for that, and the Twitch streams is in font 3, I believe. I have some new fonts in here because I used my $50 freebie from my birthday sale, so I have a couple different fonts in here than normal. Moving on to Wednesday. Wednesday I did carpool. I didn't need that big of a box for the carpool, but I just needed to kind of fill up some space. So I used another Munchkin for that, and the carpool is in font 5 this time. And then I did get Starbucks. Aliza and I always get Starbucks whenever we carpool, so I used a Paper and Milk coffee cup, and the Starbucks run is from the foil bundle. And then I had to get gas on this day as well, so I used a Coffee Monsters Co. emoji and a get gas, which is in font 2, which you don't normally see font 2 in my planner. And then I did play The Sims again when I got home, and you use the same 2 stickers for that. And I watched Grey's Anatomy this time when I was playing The Sims, so I used a little doctor sticker from Scribble Co. and the Grey's Anatomy is in font 1. Moving on to Thursday. So Thursday I marked that I was super sleepy, which was probably because I was up late playing The Sims. So I used another Munchkin for that, and the Sleepy AF is from the foil bundle. And then this was the day that I ended up wearing no makeup to work, because like I said, I wanted to do it, and also because I was just super tired, so I used a scribbler to mark that. I didn't really I just used a basic scribbler. I didn't really have anything specific to mark it that I had no makeup, so I just used that. And then to mark the compliments on my freckles, I used a Wonton a Million sticker for that with little hearts around it because it was super cute. And I actually told one of my coworkers, because she's obsessed with my freckles, enough to where she will stare at me when I'm talking to her. And I told her, I need a man who is obsessed with me as you are with my freckles. And she was like, oh, 1000% you do. So that was just a fun little thing, that interaction I guess that we had. On the second half of Thursday, I did start a new book. I started Lock Every Door. So to mark that, I used a Paper and Milk Maro for it. And then I have my custom reading script as well. And then I did order a bookshelf on this day, which is kind of funny because I still haven't put the bookshelf up. It's going to be a floating bookshelf that's going to go above my closet. I just haven't gotten around to actually doing it yet, but the whole point of it is to kind of free up some space in my actual bookshelf so that I can then put more books in my bookshelf. But I did order it on this day, so I used a little scribbler with a stack of books to mark that. And then I did wash my costume on this day as well, which is my work uniform. And I used another scribbler for that, and the wash costume is a custom from a shop I don't purchase from anymore. Moving on to Friday. Friday I uploaded again, so I used the same script and icon that I used before. And then I did have a discussion board that was due on this day, so I used a Munchkin for that and another script in font 6. And I also did some grocery shopping on this day, so I used another scribbler. I used a lot of scribblers because I had the scribbler sheet. That's the whole reason why there's a lot of scribblers here, just so you guys are aware. But I used that, and then the grocery shopping script is from the foil bundle. On the second half of Friday, I did read, obviously, because I started a new book. So I used a Once More with Love munchkin for that, and the read is from the foil bundle. And then I actually cooked dinner on this night, which I don't always cook dinner. Sometimes I do when it's like something that is like my own recipe, but I did cook a dinner on this night, and I used a scribbler for that, and the script is in font 5, I believe. And then I did go to bed early, and this is actually one of my new fonts. I want to say it's font 8. It has like little sparkly like bits around certain letters for the bed early script. It's actually really, really cute. I need to get like a full sheet of some of those just for funsies. And then moving on to Saturday, my dad and I always get Dunkin' in the morning, so I have been marking that with just the coffee run just so I can use the script in the foil bundle. So I use another scribbler and the coffee run script. And then I did buy my new mascara. I don't know why I decided to mark this, but I had nothing else happening this day apparently. But I did get my mascara. It's the same mascara I've been using for a while, but I decided to mark it. So I used a Coffee Monsters Co. Modi for that. And then I did place a Torrid order, which Torrid is the only place that I was able to find cowboy boots that had wide enough legs for me, that weren't like super tight. Like I wanted them to be loose, so I had to get like the plus size version, I guess, of them. And oh my god, they were so cute. They're so cute. I love them. But I placed the order on this day so that I can try to get those boots for Stagecoach. So for that I used a shopping scribbler from Scribble Prints Co. And then on the second half of Saturday, I did actually submit my taxes on this day, so I used a munchkin for that. And surprisingly, almost 2 weeks later, I was still following my ex on Instagram at this time, and I don't know if it was just me, but I didn't have the heart to unfollow him at that point. Surprisingly, he didn't unfollow me, so I, on this day, actually finally got to the point where I was like, no, I need to unfollow him. I need to stop, like, looking at his stuff like that. So I did unfollow him on this day, so I used a little Instagram icon that I want to say is from Scribble Prints Co. just to mark that. And then I did finish my night off by reading, and I used a Coffee Monsters Co. Modi and a read script that is in font 1. Moving on to Sunday. Sunday I did sleep in, so I used a munchkin, and the sleep in script is from the foil bundle. And then we got Starbucks, which this is also a new font for this one. So the font I want to say is font 4. It's my new font 4. I'm still kind of learning my fonts a little bit. They're kind of hard sometimes to like remember, but I'm pretty positive it's font 4. And then the coffee cup is from Paper and Milk. And then I did feel a little sad on this day, which is pretty normal, that happens. So for that I just used a little Wonton a Million sticker. And then on the second half of Sunday, I did finish Lock Every Door, which was really good. I flew through that book, so I used an emoji from the Coffee Monster Co. to mark that, and then the same custom in font 6. And then I did go shopping with Lauren for Stagecoach. We went to, I think, Boot Barn and a couple other places just to kind of see if there was anything else that we needed to get. So I used a scribbler for that, like a little cowboy scribbler, to mark shopping for Stagecoach. And then last but not least, I finished off my night by planning, and I used another scribbler and a planning time script from the foil bundle. So that is this entire spread. I love it. The foil is so pretty. It made this kit kind of go from like a green to a very purple, but I think I've mentioned this before. I don't know if it's like an Erin Condren thing, but I very much so associate April with purple, and I'm so down for this purple spread. Like, look how pretty it is. Oh my god, it's so pretty. So yes, that is everything for this spread. I will flip through what's left in the kit. Not a ton is left. There's still some like labels and stuff like that because this was a little bit of a slower week, but there is definitely a lot of things that I had used up. And then, guys, wait for this wiggle. Wait for the wiggle. Look at it. Look at the hollow. It's out of focus, but look how pretty she is. Oh my god, look at the hollow. God, I love hollow foil. It's so pretty. It is gorgeous. She's beauty. She is grace. She is Miss United States. That is everything for this spread. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, as always, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already to see more videos. Leave me some type of comment down below, and I will see you guys in another video very soon. Goodbye!